Hello and welcome to Roll to One. I'm Jaden Arnold. We're playing a game that started a long time ago as a murder mystery, and now it's divulged into a terrible eldritch horror, but also much more than that now. So without further ado, let's get ready for tonight's episode of Whispers of Old Harbor. The group, minus Sammy, stumbled upon an enigmatic temple inside a dark sigil located within the fishery. This temple was reminiscent of an ancient pyramid, possibly Egyptian, Mayan, we weren't sure. Eventually, they encountered a puzzle that activated the central pillar, revealed to be the lantern. Upon lighting it, the room filled with water, and some of the many mouths these tentacled creatures emerged from the corners of the room. The group then hastily retreated from these aberrations, rushing towards the sigil to escape. Charlie managed to get out first, followed by Catherine, who was thrown out and saved by Harry. Unfortunately, the portal was near closed before Harry was left behind. However, our story moves us to the hospital. A hospital run and operated by a Dr. Hastings. We see in the morning light of Tuesday, yes. We see the morning light on a Tuesday. Sammy, you are waking up in a hospital bed. You have a sling over your arm, and you are wearing a hospital gown. You feel quite sore, however, you are stable. And there is a nurse who is sort of wiping off the last little bit of blood from your shoulder that is exposed as she's kind of pulled back your gown. And she's there before you. She's wearing the get-up, if you will.
The nice starched outfit.
Yeah, right? And here you are. What do you do as you sort of come to? I bet there's a bit of shock, but other than that, how do you feel?
I think it's just like my entire body aches, especially my arm, where it was before magic was cast on it, detached from itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like, as she dabs at the blood on my shoulder.
Okay. She says, "You'll be fine in time. Give it another day." As she steps away, you hear her walk over some like,
Can I?
and then, oh, yep. What
Is
do you
there
do?
a newspaper on like a side table that I could grab?
Yes.
I want to just kind of grab it and with my hand that works, my arm that is not in a sling.
Which arm was in a sling?
My left arm.
Okay.
Grab it, and I'm looking on this newspaper for about, you said this is the next morning, right? Anything that might have been published about last night, should it have been quickly enough? Or I'm looking for those important names that we talked about that are somewhere on my notes. But the important names, like party names that I would just recognize from... here, hold on, let me...
Yeah, while you do that, Charlie, roll plus cool. And give yourself a +1.
That'll be a 10.
So you managed to publish a story last night. There's you're calling, you whatever happened last night, you managed to publish a story. What does the story say?
Drainage disaster, and it's going to be discussing the
Harborview Fisheries Co.
Yeah, Harbor
and
Fisheries
like the building
Co.
and
and it's going to be discussing about how in the process of trying to do general maintenance for it, one of the employees got injured. I'm going to talk about Ray.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to feature about him and how
he's at the asylum.
Yes.
Yep.
Ray.
Yep. And I'm just going to do a bit about...
Do you mention the three of you?
I don't... no, I'll just say... locals and employee injured doing general maintenance of facility.
So you've written yourselves out of history in a way. Okay. So Sammy, that is what you see at least in the front page news. Were you looking for anything else?
I kind of just wanted to check in to see if anything kind of like on the back pages, something that might have been buried about Copperfield or Firestone or Waterford or
anything about Lily.
Lilith.
Sorry.
So go ahead.
And the last one is...
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
What's his name? Sinclair.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
the big one.
Yeah.
Just honestly, you have time. You go through it, and I don't need you to roll. You just find just offhandedly that you find a notion that Elias Firestone has yet made another donation to Hastings General, which is where you find yourself now. And Sinclair is looking to invest in nearby property nearby the hospital. That's like the business section.
Anything on classifieds? Anything interesting there? Kind of not that Sammy has a lot of experience kind of decoding not complicated codes in classified ads. That when he's like, yeah, the boss will leave something. The classified ads for us. Is there anything that kind of is like looks to Sammy like has a bit of the same to speak in a kind of out of game and through a different game? Anything thieves can't
I get it.
In the classified ads.
So I would say you just going through. Yeah, that's fun. I'll say you find a little bit about kind of Green's Groceries is looking to hire new staff. Right? They're looking to hire out some new, they call them cashiers. And you're like, yeah, okay. And you also see that Copperfield can now be found at a different location. She's now posted up at a hotel instead of at the box that she was initially found in.
Do we know which one?
Yeah, I'll just say you can go to her should you want to. Yeah. And that's pretty much it in the classifieds.
Cool.
That would interest you now. Unless you're looking for a job.
No, not really.
So Dr. Walter Hastings walks up to you and says, hey, good morning. Remember, he's about 5'10". He's got salt and pepper hair. He's neatly trimmed and a little ruddy, but at this point, he looks at you intensely and says, may I ask, now that you're awake, what happened last night?
Oh, man. Well, you know how I carry myself, as we saw in the party, and how I like to get up to things that maybe not be so loud. Just something went a little wrong.
He kind of like pinches his glasses, pulls them off, re-pinches them on. They're just free, like floating on his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pinch.
Yeah.
This old world charm about this guy.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
And he sort of says, I understand how you carry yourself. You'll be wanting to wear that sling, kind of just moving on.
Yeah.
You'll be wanting to wear that sling for probably a day or two. I would not recommend, you can walk. You're allowed to move about. Please do not leave. We've yet to clear you.
Okay, yeah.
But if should you be hungry, and he gestures to the local areas that you can maybe grab a bite to eat, but don't leave the premises, right? Sort of like we haven't cleared you yet in that way.
Can I put my pants back on?
yes, your clothes are, and so he sort of grabs.
Sam's trying to be like,
No,
I
yeah.
don't like it.
He grabs your clothes and gives you sort of this pile. They didn't fix them; they're covered in blood. But then he also sort of just gives you. I don't want to call it like the gray sweatpants and the gray shirt, but it's kind of what you're given. So you have other options.
Cool. Generic linen pants and shirt.
Yeah, the hospital given clothing.
Yeah.
It'd be like, so, yeah.
Whatever they had in the 20s.
Cool, thank you. Is there anything, even after the 2 days, is my arm gonna be okay?
You should have full range of motion. Like I said, in about a day or two. I would take it easy on the left hook.
This is gonna be a cool scar.
Do you? So yeah, you're wrapped up pretty good. I mean, he doesn't say scars aren't cool.
Okay, you know what? That's an opinion that you're allowed to have. I just wanted to, it's like a.
Are you like being loud and boisterous in this room? Okay,
no,
you're just like having a
he's
conversation
kind of
with him.
being silly and fun and trying to ease the hospital tension.
And he just says, if there's anything, let me know. I will be at inpatient room. And he gives you a number. But then he also says, yes, next is Miss King. He walks away.
What? I will shout at him.
Huh?
What?
He turns around, has the clipboard in hand. He says, what do you need now?
I'm coming with you. Wait, and I will stand up.
Oh, the pain.
Put some pants on. Put a tank top on or whatever, and then just kind of lumber after the doctor, following him to.
Yeah. So you head after the doctor, and he says, where are you going?
We're going together. Let's go. I just
go ahead and roll to manipulate someone.
For anyone at home that may forget, like I did, Lilith's last name is King.
Yes.
Yep.
Indeed.
I was like, why would he care about a Miss King? I was like,
Yep. It took me 5 seconds as well.
and I'm just kidding.
I forgot her
I'm
last
not
name.
mad at you. I'm not trying at all to do this violently.
Yeah, and of course it's just plus your charm.
I mean, you're a massive
Plus
dude.
charm.
It doesn't
Don't you
matter if
mean
it's violent
minus
or not.
charm.
Oh no, he's not very charming.
3.
Boy.
So you'll be staying out of the room. Why?
Okay. Well. Okay.
And so you guys get to the patient room.
My biggest question, and I know about doctor-patient confidentiality. I just want to know, what's this person's first name?
I don't think he's gonna tell you unless you swipe the clipboard from his hand.
Yeah. Give me. If he says, well, I can't, I'll just take it.
Yeah, well, I can't. You just grab it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna argue. He's a smallish man compared to you, and you just grab it. Top of the page is a Lilith King. And you continue looking down. You see she's missing a foot. You see that she's checked in the hospital a day or two ago, and
That's
whatever.
Kind of stupid we didn't check. To be honest with you.
And she is. There's a little clip that says a little missing persons report that's been filled out underneath it that has been identifying to the police office that she has been found and everything's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
And-
other than she's lost a foot.
Well, doctor,
Yeah, that's still
do you
missing.
know who submitted that missing persons report for that lady?
Yes, it was, and he says, doctor. Huh? It was
Congrats on your-
detective. Detective Harry Henderson is what he acknowledges.
Promotion.
PhD.
Well,
PI, PhD.
okay. Thank you for telling me, and I will walk back to my room.
So he's outside now. You guys walked together. He's outside the room with her in it. You're just gonna walk back.
I'm gonna make sure I know what room number he's at.
Yeah,
then,
you
leave.
find where
Yep.
her room is.
And then
After
go
the
back.
most awkward, quiet walk to this place, and he sort of walks in, taking the clipboard back. Anyway,
Cool, and I'll wait. I'm actually not gonna go back to the room. I want this to be on an L hallway, and I'll just hide behind a corner
Okay.
I just like wait for him to leave.
After some time, like I would say maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you hear him, I guess, laughing. What? You also hear another laugh. What does that laugh do to you? Hearing it as he pushes open the door, finishing out
it's
laughing
her
at
laugh,
Yes,
yeah?
it is. Yes.
Where is it?
Well, Ross? I'm just excited, you know? There's been a new kind of light in Sammy's eyes about this whole scenario because, you know, you don't realize what you got till you lose it. And so I think he's super excited and happy and is going to try to go in there as soon as he can.
So Doctor watches, like you cross him outside the corner. You hide back. He doesn't make. He's looking down at a clipboard. Totally misses you as you.
Giant guy. It's like Kronk in that scene. When he hides in the wall.
Yeah, 100%. And anyway, he goes past, and you go over towards this room. I'll say this is a fun little moment. As you push in the doorway, we sort of change scenes for a second. As you see, not even change scenes, the cameraman just walks down the hallway, and busting through the double doors are 3 beds. As you see, all 3 of you, Catherine Elwood, Charlie Stearns, and Harry Henderson, all being pushed in, wearing gowns, clothing put at the foot of their beds. All 3 of them are sort of being pushed in, and they're like, you guys are all awake. All of you are fine, stable, and you're being pushed in, I guess, as you're sort of wheeled in as a group, all 3 of you, towards the holding room that Sammy would have been in. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you guys say to each other, sort of like, you guys have all been awake, I say, maybe for several hours.
Oh, no, at this point, Charlie's asleep.
Okay, Charlie's out.
Charlie, after all the energy that had to be exerted doing all that stuff, he is tired.
Remember, he's the wise man of the group.
I'm
a little bit more experienced.
So
in life.
polite of you.
A little bit more experienced.
old. He's 47 and burnt out. Okay, there's a difference.
He has a lot of life experience.
Now, that is Sammy's opinion. 47 is young in the real world, I think.
So did you guys say anything?
It's like, guys, I can walk. It's fine. You don't need to be pushing me around in this bed.
As you have like a, what would it be? I guess it would be crutches in
Yeah.
the side of your bed, waiting. I would say you guys are covered in blankets, so we don't yet know of your injuries. I guess let's say you go into the big room, into the waiting room. You guys have been put to the side. You see empty bed where Sammy would have been. But as you kind of move, you're put in the next according spaces. As they remove the blankets, what is wrapped up in bandages for each of you?
Well, we'll wait for Harry.
You don't need to say what happened. Just
Right.
what's wrapped up.
So you can see on Harry's hands, they're wrapped lightly, and we'll find out later why.
Yep.
And then his legs are also kind of wrapped up. He just seems a little bit disheveled from. He hasn't had a chance to really bathe or do much since.
Well, yeah,
all that
last
happened.
night.
Yeah, since last night.
So what are you wrapped up?
I'd say probably the right leg is in a splint
Okay.
from a fall while trying to run.
Mm-hmm.
And probably he's lying on his left, probably slightly elevated to the left, and has bandages on his back.
Okay. You didn't really get super like
No.
you got maybe lashed a little bit, but like
Yeah, so I feel like it's not maybe more internal things because she also fell on the way out. So I'd say probably bruising on her arms, and then same thing when she took part of the harm
so you're
from.
you maybe just like lightly wrapped in your
Sam.
midsection, and maybe your like upper
Yeah.
arm, and that's about it.
That's probably it. I don't think anything else.
Fair. All right, so you all are placed there. You're checked in with the nurses, with the doctor. Dr. Hastings walks up, sort of waits for you, I guess, in a way. Tells you you're all going to be cleared to leave this evening. But for now, don't leave. You're free to move about the hospital. He tells you about the food locations. And we cut back. So you walk in the room. Your big presence fills the doorway. And then you see... sitting down with a book, magazine, off to the side, is a woman with a foot elevated on a side little railing. I say a foot; it's a stump, and the other foot is sort of like half crisscrossed over her other leg, and then she's sort of like sitting in the hospital gown, using magazines, eating like some cup of whatever looks like a sort of a pudding-ish thing, and maybe Jello. It's kind of gross.
They have
And
Jello in the 20s?
Yeah.
yep, maybe.
Oh,
That's why I'm just playing it
Yeah,
very
yeah,
safe
no, I
with
know.
food. I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm just curious now.
Gelatin was a thing in the 20s.
That's what
It
I
was
thought.
it was a high end dessert though. So
Oh.
it's
Probably not
probably
in a
just like
hospital.
it's like applesauce or for cut fruit.
Whatever. So she
Yeah.
like looks over, and then she sees Sammy. Sammy, do you say anything when you walk in the room before she says something? So she just goes.
Jello existed.
Yeah.
So she grabs the whatever cup it is and just chucks it at you as hard as possible. Goes full on wide, splatters the wall. And do you like hold back anything? Yeah, okay. So it just hits the wall and she goes, "You son of a bitch! Where have you been?"
I'm going to not say anything. Walk up closer to her.
Yep.
Hopefully she's just berating
She continues to berate you. Do you want to hear at least a little bit of what she's berating you on?
Sure.
Yep. So she sort of says, I had to deal with Marcella. I'm trying to deal with this syndicate problem. Did you hear they're at Greens? They were trying to use me for leverage. All of a sudden, I'm taken. My foot's gone. Big monsters. What's going on in this town? And she just continues to like going on and on and on.
I'm just going to walk up to her, put my hand on her face. I'm so glad you're okay.
She stops talking. All right. She says, "Are you okay? Why
Yeah,
are you
I'll
in
be
here?"
Oh, you know, the syndicate. Monsters. Being stupid. But what's new?
Where are your goons?
Who knows? I would say,
What do you have them doing when they're not around you?
okay, so they drove us to the,
Hospital.
no.
They drove you.
They
They followed to
drove
the
you.
hospital.
They did.
Yeah,
did
they
we?
followed
That's
you.
why
yeah,
I'm asking
yeah,
you
yeah.
this
Oh,
question.
well then I would know. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember the last place I saw
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
No, I think that I
Are they in the waiting room? Did you send them out?
I think I sent them out.
Okay.
Ooh, I want to kind of go back and say the reason I knew that Copperfield was that new place is that's what they found out. And
Got
they
it.
put that classified ad in
Got it.
about she's in that new hotel.
Okay.
They dropped me off, went and found that out.
So she then asked you, "Where's Frank and Tony?" And you inform her.
Yeah,
that
they're
doing
working.
business. So she says, "I can't really go anywhere anymore.
I know.
This sucks."
We have your foot.
You what?
We found it.
Where you have my foot? I don't have a foot. My foot's not going to be attached. I don't have a foot. But forget the foot. Throw the foot out. I don't want to
Okay.
know it exists.
Just wanted to tell you we found it.
I just wanted you to shut up. I don't want to know about my foot.
I'm not gonna love you any less, Stumpy.
Ooh, this is going well.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to love you anymore, dumbass. So she basically here's the story. She gives you this story. Marcella took her to the speakeasy at Green's Grocery for business, hoping to use her as leverage to persuade the syndicate to leave their town alone. The plan was to exchange Lilith for the Accardianos, assuming Marcella and her goons could retrieve her after they took care of business. Sensing tension, Marcella said no to the shoddy deal and took the two of them away. During their departure, Lilith managed to escape from Marcella and her crew after the gunfire happened. She set off to find you, heading towards the Harborview Nature Preserve. En route, a tentacle sprang from the sewer, instantly severing her foot, which was swept upstream. Lilith's screams filled the street before she was left behind and rushed to the hospital.
Man, you know, you call me a dumbass and like for fun, but you know we didn't even think to look at the hospital for you.
It's sad how true that is.
I mean, we were like, she's in the river, she's in the sewer, and you were here, and we didn't even think.
She says, I did get a visit from, this is the part where you can sort of have a conversation with her. She says, I did get a visit from the chief of police,
Oh, great.
who was at the,
Potty, right?
no, he was at the speakeasy down under Greens.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, we knew that.
It's one of those situations where he fired first.
Ooh, who did he shoot at? Do you remember?
The syndicate.
How many of them were there? Do you know? A lot of them? Some of them?
I'll tell you, you know the answer roughly, that there were more of the syndicate before, because you guys looked at the bodies.
So, my question kind of, I want to lead to, did we kill the rest of them there?
You will
Or did we
you will
kill-
there's a discrepancy. You're not sure.
Okay, great. That's an answer that I will accept, even though I don't want to.
She says that there were enough there that the gunfight like lasted a little bit. However, nobody followed Marcella, and she said one of her goons got stopped at the door, which when you opened the door, the man fell.
Yeah.
You haven't. The blanks are being filled.
Yeah,
in for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, whoever was left there, we wrapped up.
Do you have a new gang?
They're not a gang. It's a rich lady. It's a detective who's bad at his job. I'm just kidding. He's great.
No, I'm not that good at it.
And
He's not there. You don't have to cover for him.
no, but I only
being
call him bad at his job when he's in front of me.
Gotcha.
And reporter. They don't really. I mean, the detective is not a half bad shot, and oh man, that tentacle thing is terrifying. But the reporter can like talk to him, and I don't know, he's weird. And then
So you fill her in.
yeah,
I need it's all great. I need another cup. Go and get me another cup. You ruined my last one.
I will.
No. You're gonna have to go and get her.
Yeah.
Talk to a nurse. Get her food.
Like, you're gonna have to go to the lunch location, get her some.
Do you want anything else while I'm gone?
Figure it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice. I had my whole world was rocked when your foot was found. Oh, one more thing before I leave.
Don't you dare say don't leave town. Don't do it. Don't say it.
What?
That's all that the chief of police was saying. On and on. Don't leave town. Don't leave town.
Did you say anything else? Around that?
He said, who cares what you saw? We'll check you into the asylum if you say anything. It's on and on at this point.
Okay, well.
Bunch of crazies.
You are going to get to leave town in a bit. When are you cleared from here?
I'm cleared from here tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. I'm going to send you and the boys home.
You gonna pay for the car?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna steal a car, she says to herself.
I actually wasn't, but that's not a half bad idea. Sinclair. Did you talk to him?
I haven't made any contact with Sinclair. Nobody will let me see him.
Okay.
The redhead bitch won't say nothing either.
So that was the red hair in our apartment.
Yeah.
I forgot. They both have red hair. I just had to know. Okay, great.
Lilith has red hair.
What?
Oh, Sinclair. Oh,
No.
gotcha.
Sinclair,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Marcella.
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Marcella.
Okay.
No, you
Yeah.
no. Lilith is currently jet black hair with a blonde wig by her clothing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was confused. Like, I thought
What?
I thought she
She's
didn't have red hair.
she's raven black hair, and
But she wears a blonde
and
wig.
she wears a blonde wig.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
When I get back, we're going to the courthouse. I'm over it. No more waiting.
She says, give me a second. She says something really fast and really quickly. She says, I know you talk is cheap. That was terrible. Try again later.
All right.
Man of action, give me a pudding.
I'll get you whatever you want the rest of your life, okay? As I'm leaving,
I want a diamond ring.
Okay.
The door closed.
Give me some
I
pudding.
like the idea that you three
Yes.
from the other room just hear me go, okay! From the
Well,
other side.
I will say you guys are probably all okay enough. You maybe crutch a little bit, but you're all headed to the lunch area
Okay.
where you would bump into Sammy Accardiano going to get a pudding. So they're all sitting there at a table of three. Actually, they're, two on one side, one on the other across like a picnic style industrial room. The flickering light at the one end of the corner. But otherwise, you see the open, like, they would close the window style where they would like give you whatever mush they have that day. Similar to prison, but more hospital, industrial.
Yeah.
And you just see the three of them stick out like sore thumbs, the only people in bandages and gowns as everybody else is sort of doctors and nurses.
Look at these wahoos.
Hey.
Hey, Sammy, come join us.
Oh, I gotta run an errand. Hey,
What?
Lilith's alive.
What?
You know
Lilith's
that?
alive?
She's been here for 2 days and we didn't think to look.
That would have made sense. Why didn't we think
Yeah.
about that?
Stupid.
Charlie's face just goes deadpan. He's like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
But like, it wasn't just me that didn't think of it, and it's not like we didn't say, "Oh, we don't need to check the hospital." We just didn't.
I mean,
not
we find her foot in the river,
Yeah.
and we assume that she was in the river.
Yeah.
You guys
And
found
then
the
the
red
sewer.
hair?
Oh, the thing that took her foot is in the sewer.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm assuming
She
that
said
all
a
the people.
tentacle.
I assume all the people around us are just looking at us like, "What the hell?" Are
I'm
they
talking about a story. Shut up and go away.
All of the nurses just turn away.
Let's
I
talk.
gotta take Lilith a pudding and a new water and probably some coffee. I might come back a little.
coffee.
Oh Lord! And I'll walk off.
What do you think I've been drinking this whole time? It's not chocolate milk.
Well, I didn't see that earlier. I'm gonna go get some.
Yeah, you guys can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Some friggin'
Take Lilith her pudding.
Yep.
Take her water. Take her coffee. Wait a moment. She doesn't throw it at me. I leave.
She says, I need flowers.
Yes, ma'am.
He threw out a ma'am. My gracious.
And then does Sammy come back to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the four of you have reconvened following the previous adventure where Sammy was no longer present. Fill him in.
Whew. Well, first off, Sammy, how you doing? I asked Dr. Hastings earlier. He said you were fine, but
Yeah,
you
my
tell us.
lower body feels actually fine. The more I walk, the less sore it gets. Upper body's kind of hurting a little bit.
I would assume.
But, I'm breathing. Not much more you can ask for, especially when things go as wrong as they look like they did.
We did it.
Yeah.
What? What'd you do? What was down there? Did you go?
A lantern.
God, I was so...
Oh,
He was there?
It was. It was very different from what I was thinking it was going to look like.
Yeah.
Do you have my spear?
About that. Let's just say,
It was essential to get the lantern.
Oh, it
lit.
was?
Yes.
yes. It's not
It
that
was helpful.
It's not that we just lost it. We utilized it in a way that helped us.
Okay. I'm less upset about it. Yeah. I'm still upset,
Yeah,
but just not as
Understandably.
upset.
it was a cool spear.
Yeah. If it makes
And you got out?
Barely.
By the skin of our teeth.
What happened to your hands?
You know that animal that we saw at the cabin?
Yeah, that I into. Yeah, I know.
There was 2 or 3 of them that came after us.
Glad that I left.
Yeah.
What happened to your hands?
And then Harry's just gonna kind of look away and
Fade to flashback.
fade to flashback.
Sure. What happens?
So, do you want to put on some action music while I describe what happens?
Sure, I will. That's amazing. All right,
We're going cinematic here.
Yeah, as you totally should. Like, I feel like it's a. All right, here we go.
So, to set the scene from
Yeah.
those who did not watch the last episode.
Let's go watch. Spoiler
No,
alert.
this is something that we didn't wrap up. So
Yeah.
take it away.
Oh, this is perfect.
So, as the last episode is ending, and as Jaden said at the beginning, we were running through the tunnels. Those of the many mouths were chasing us through the tunnels. There's seaweed hanging from the ceilings. It's wet. It's damp. It's not a fun time. But we don't care about the seaweed because we're being chased by 2 monsters. The portal we see is open at the end. Charlie jumps through it. Catherine's a few feet in front of me. She trips. She falls. Harry, being the gentleman that he is.
Water is filling.
Oh yes. Water is rushing from behind
you,
those at the
yeah.
mini mouths.
Yeah.
It's not a good time. Things aren't looking great. Catherine trips and falls. Harry picks her up, and he
Throws her.
throws her as he sees that the portal.
Charlie's beginning an incantation to close
Yep.
the portal.
Yeah. The portal is closing. Harry kind of trips himself, and that gives those of the mini mouths time to wrap one each around his legs, tripping him and fall. The portal's getting smaller and smaller until it can't.
Till it's basically closed.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
closed. Harry, in his desperation, pulls out his pistol, looks at both of them, remembering back to when we fought the monsters in the cabin, or the single monster in the cabin. For those who may not remember, the way that we finished off that monster was Harry, with a great shot, shot down the throat of the monster in the cabin. So in desperation, and with 3 points of luck to save his butt,
Fires once.
fires once into the mouth of one, fires the second time into the mouth of the other. It does not kill them, but it does
Get them off.
does get them off. You can see they're kind of writhing in pain. Then Harry turning, the portal is yay big. He grabs it with both hands. Pain goes into his hands. He can feel his flesh starting to burn. He, with all of his strength, is pushing it forward. Charlie, seeing this, stops a little bit, and he's able to get the portal open more, jumps through, and Charlie finishes up and closes it.
Yeah, so then basically sending back another ambulance, they are rescued in their horrible state. And as they're going, of course, reporters arrive, and Charlie manages to inform them of what's going on, writes a quick blurb, gets it in the paper that's going to pop up in the next morning. And then basically the 3 of them go and get their medical attention. And the rest is history.
So, but I'm not going to say that with everyone around. That's not what's going to be said. So I look off and just look to Sammy. It's like, let's just say things happened.
Flashback. Let's just say stuff happened. That's great.
Man, and I was gonna compliment the shit out of you, Ross. But I don't know, so okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
But I did have to use 3 points of luck. And for those of you at home who may not know this, we can use luck to automatically make any roll a 12.
Yep.
And as I forgot to do that, I forgot that was a thing. Jade and I agreed that
It would make sense
Yeah.
that you spent 3 to do all that you needed to do to get out.
yes.
All right. Well, pretty good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Where's next stop? Obviously, we can't leave until we're discharged tomorrow, so we shouldn't leave. But I read through the paper. Good article, by the way.
Thank you.
There's a new Sinclair property right nearby the hospital that I think we should check out when we leave.
Does it say what building?
It did.
Yeah, it's just like next door.
But what is that building?
They don't know what it is yet.
It's just
In
it's like a
development.
warehouse.
Would I
It's
know
a-
what it is?
I don't know. Do you want to spend a hold?
Yeah. I rolled a 7 on connect the dots, so.
No, you rolled a 10
Oh, whatever.
because you
You're
added,
right.
you added stuff.
Yes. So I have 3 questions.
Yep. This is the moment. This is why you have them.
This is the moment.
Thank you. I had to stop myself from doing it.
Man, I always go to Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
where I
the
was.
moment.
What song were you singing?
This is the moment. Tonight is the night.
We'll fight
And
till
then
it's
it's
over.
over.
So we throw our hands
Okay, boys. Okay, guys.
When and
love
where
that
will the next critical event occur?
What? What was that question?
When and where, same question,
Wow.
will the next critical event
That's
occur?
the best moment ever.
Where and when? Okay. I will tell you
Is tonight the night?
how you okay. You are they're having this conversation. They're probably chatting just slightly, trying to get around the details so that Sammy can be in the loop a little bit better. Charlie is kind of, being like, well, I was gonna write this in my story, whatever. They're all having this conversation. And the 3 men just as they tend to absorb the conversation. In the 20s, you're sort of not discarded, but just not a
and
part of it.
Catherine's tends to be more quiet anyway.
So you're sort of looking around the room. You catch Dr. Hastings a bit disheveled, a bit anxious. Your ability to discern kind of what's going on is that he's withholding information from the person he's talking to. I'm going to go ahead and go a step further and say that you're able to read lips. And you see that he is talking and his mouth says these words. Yes, yet another fisherman has been found deceased. We've been putting the bodies in the basement, as we've been told to. It's just that it's hungrier and hungrier. We're not sure what else to do. Do we need to start adding bodies? Not sure exactly how to hide a failed surgery only so many times. My reputation is at stake. Can't you get him from the asylum? That's what you get before he turns around. So where and when? Tonight in the basement.
So tonight is the night.
We'll fight till it's over.
So I think among the conversations, I'll just kind of turn back and be like, I think we should check the basement today.
Okay. I've trusted your intuition so far. Why are you saying it this time?
Well, Dr. Hastings seems a little anxious, if you will, and I'm trying to eavesdrop on his conversation over there, and something, they're using bodies at the basement, and something's hungrier down there. Seems odd.
Yeah.
Seems connected,
So,
if you will.
yeah.
And when he mentioned the article, I look through it and I just turn it around and I go, the fact that Hastings, Firestone, and Sinclair are all concerned about things going on at this property right now, that's 3 of the most powerful people here. So that ties into what you're saying too. That just everything is converging here.
One, once is chance, twice is coincidence.
3
3 times is a pattern.
Question. Some of us at this table are very clearly better at certain things. What can I do to make the basement not a problem? security-wise. What can I have Frank and Tony do? To maybe, worry about stuff that goes wrong up here so that you guys just can go down there and not worry about anything. Now, don't get yourselves killed. But
Right.
I wanna, yeah.
So let's imagine with me. Imagine with me we have a clock. Circle. It's bisected into 4 quadrants. The first, the top left quadrant, or I guess top right quadrant, would be the afternoon. That is, we're doing time here.
Okay.
The afternoon. So you're sort of in the morning, you're sort of dealing with your healing stuff. In the afternoon, you'll be checking in with your doctors.
Okay.
Then at the bottom right, we have the evening. That is when you are going to be checked out and free to move about.
I thought it was tomorrow evening.
No, it's tonight.
Yeah.
Lilith is tomorrow. Lilith is
Oh.
being let out tomorrow. She had a whole,
Yeah, MPT surgery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would be the evening. That is when you are able to go down into the basement and do whatever you need to do. Then we will have night will be the next one. And night is when Catherine believes they are doing their things. And then we have midnight. Which nothing good, as parents would say, nothing
You guys
good
have a
happens
talk.
after midnight. So
Really, it's 2
we
a.m.
will just say that using your gut, which is an ability in this game, you are able to discern that something's going down at midnight. You're able to sort of deduce. This is kind of how we will break up these adventures as we continue onward. So into the afternoon.
Well, I have a.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Actually, this is a question for you. You said we can get down to the basement as early as the evening.
So basically, you can go down right now, but I'm saying,
Nothing can happen.
Nothing's gonna be
Nothing's
going on.
going-
well,
to be going
no.
on.
Like I'm saying, you're not gonna see anyone do anything. You're not gonna catch anyone in the act of anything. Right now, if you go down, you're just gonna get information on maybe what's going on, but otherwise, you're injured. You're not going to be at 2 harm or 1 harm for Harry until the evening.
Okay. Do we want to scope the place out, or do you want to?
So right now you're all at 4,
Yeah.
or you're all at 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all at 3 because of your stable. You're
Yeah.
all at 3.
Yeah.
So it's like if you want that one more healing, is it worth it to you? Whatever.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna need to be at full health. If Catherine is right, and we have stuff going on tonight, we need to be as healed as possible.
I agree.
As much as I would love to go down, my legs are killing me, and yeah, I can walk, but I don't really want to. So, I think that we should all. I think what we need to do right now is make a plan going forward.
Yes.
We know we are theorizing that something's going on here in the hospital tonight.
Yeah. So
And
basically, from any roll from the afternoon onward is considered part of the hunter agenda.
right,
Right. So you're going to be rolling when you roll to investigate a mystery. You're going to use the questions. When you're reading about a situation, you're going to use the questions.
Right.
You're doing. Yes. Does it make sense?
yeah,
Yep.
totally. Since we have this time, let's strategize the next few days. So,
Next
start-
few days or just tonight?
Strategize
let's
what will happen over the next couple days.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we know Sinclair's party is Saturday.
And I talk with Sinclair on Thursday.
That's
Right.
when he returns.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where is he?
On
He's
a
on
trip.
a business trip,
So,
which
sorry.
you're always
Didn't mean to interrupt.
always allowed to
No,
spend
question.
hold
Do
and ask
we-
crazy questions on.
Did we have a
Is this Sammy question or is that
both?
okay?
Do we talk about my meeting with Marcella?
You guys all talked about it.
We did.
We did talk
Yeah.
That was
about
at the
it. So
Lighthouse
we know,
Lodge.
We
Yeah.
know that
over pancakes and
we
waffles.
know that there's a chance that we could get her off of his side by the time he gets back.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Because with your meeting with him, what's your meeting about?
The contract
The
with.
contract, either kicking my grandma out or giving him the
fishery,
Elwood estate or the fishery, basically.
which you guys have activated the lantern for.
Yeah.
Can't.
Ooh,
Do
interesting.
we know if lanterns can be deactivated?
Okay. Add to the list.
Oh, okay.
Talk to somebody that might know.
Okay. Yes.
So, I think that getting Marcella on our side changes a lot.
I think so.
And let's just say at a cursory conversational glance with the nurses. Hey, what happened at the fishery? What do you know? It is currently police taped. Just letting you know, like it is a crime scene.
Yeah.
The fishery.
Yeah.
Makes
Well,
sense.
because employees getting hardened to doing maintenance and stuff, it would
Yeah.
become an investigation on why that happened and things like that. Make
It's
sure it
not.
wasn't
There's no
foul
like.
play.
There's no like
Yeah.
murder detective on
Yeah.
scene. It's just a.
Looking
it's
around,
the businessmen
investigating.
are, and so therefore it is taped up, and you guys would know that, sort of instinctively, especially you.
Right.
So, that's just information. Now you obviously know that the chief of police is severely corrupt. We'll say for the very least.
A little.
So, but I'm just letting you know that, like, if it's, as you say, reversible, that could be potentially harmful, that it is blocked off.
That would slow things down from getting reversed.
Yeah.
I think between me being a cop and
A lot of eyes
her,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
and her owning everything, we would be able to figure that out. But anywho,
Yeah.
So then
back.
the question is, sorry.
No.
But should it be under new management? Yes, it would be very difficult to deal with.
Yes. Okay, yeah, fair.
Right. So if he does gain purchase of it via you making
The
some sort of a
conversation.
deal, then therefore he would be able to do whatever he wants with the place.
Okay.
No.
So that changes what I was going to say. I think you have to keep it.
Yes, it seems that way.
Now, if we get Marcella on our side, we could. And I know a little bit about business. Could we get their back door for you and Marcella together to cut him out?
Out of what exactly?
Out of business
foundation.
here in town.
Do you tell them about the 1.1, 1.2? You talk about how much money he truly has, because cutting him out it's
It'd be hard.
very hard.
But I
Yeah,
thought
I
we had the
think-
conversation with Marcella that she controls everything.
She does control the accounts, so she could freeze him out, but that's only a matter of time.
That would just slow him down.
That's a
that way.
stalling tactic.
Yeah.
Which would be helpful. to
Depends on what he's up to.
prolong-
Nobody knows what he's up to.
Right.
Why can I ask that?
What are you asking?
Well, can I?
Because I will tell you, those two more questions apply till the end of the midnight. So if you
The
want
end of today.
if you want to hang on to them,
I would wait.
We can always
Oh,
ask
you
that.
can
But
always
they're
ask
your-
them.
but they're
You can
your
ask
questions.
a
They're
you can
your
ask a
questions.
monster related
Yeah.
question.
Well,
They're your
yeah, I'm gonna
questions.
wait until.
I'm just saying
later,
it's,
but
you're allowed to.
I
I'm
was
just
just
warning
asking
you.
if I could.
You always can.
Okay.
Cool.
Well.
Those are
uh,
held until you release them.
So, today, hospital shenanigans.
Yes, maybe there's a lantern underneath the hospital. Maybe it's something.
But they're feeding something.
It could be whatever's guarding.
Maybe the monster
lantern.
guarding. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Or access to the next lantern.
Yeah,
is
okay.
there.
So there may be a lantern here.
So-
Maybe.
Or the building that they're trying to buy or have.
Well, So, I think the first thing we need to do before we strategize at all is where are our main points to strategize around?
Right.
Hospital,
current-
definitely one.
I'm currently working on that. I got a map of the early city from the Thaddeus, and
Plural.
exactly. And I intend to map out from the fishery establishments that have been around for a while and see if there's any current, like, a current pathway of where these buildings are compared to where the lantern is that we just lit up.
Okay.
See if we can map out where potential future lanterns will be.
Okay. Great idea. So, point one is maintaining 3 lanterns, right?
Yes.
Assuming that the hospital has to do with one of them. We've got 2 out of 3.
My
Yeah.
gosh.
Big assumption, but yes.
Well, no. Well, the hospital's important,
yes.
and the hospital
Could lead
could
to
lead
finding.
to that. So,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
we have one like
We're
assuming
getting
the
there.
hospital is it or leads us to it.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2. Now,
Other places.
Knowing Sinclair, why is the Harbor View? What is that?
The
called?
manor?
The manor.
Harborview Manor.
Yeah, it's all
Um,
Harborview.
You're right.
So important.
To
So-
him,
that's the abandoned manor, right?
yes.
Yes. The one that they were doing the fundraiser for.
Yep. I mean,
So-
it's got to be.
Specifically to him and Firestone, who also have strong interest in the hospital.
Okay. Do you have that map?
Not here. I'll have to
Okay.
get it. If you could get
Just
that
trying to see,
retrieved
like, if
for me.
there's yeah. So that was about to say, that building next door, I sent Frank and Tony into. See what they find.
See what they can find out.
Not
I'm
not
worried for their
digging.
psyche.
So the
They
building
don't
next
have
the
much
building
of
next door is a property, not a building.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just like
Property purchased for development.
so, just like flat land.
Yeah.
Flat,
Okay.
well-groomed land.
Then never mind.
So never mind.
Basically,
Um,
like extended lawn space for the hospital.
So definitely under the hospital,
Yes.
we got a problem.
Something is there.
I sent Frank and Tony to get the map, but I'm thinking,
Like a distraction.
well, that's another thing, is we need a distraction, which I feel like we have Frank and Tony for. But I don't feel like there's any of our time worth strategizing anything outside the hospital. Now we can find points to strategize about, but the business is here, and I think we got to figure out.
Worry
what's going on.
worry about the now. Let the future be its own problem for the moment.
Yeah, cross that bridge when we get to it,
Right.
right? Like, we can stop right before we get to the bridge and talk about the bridge, but we don't need to cross it before we even cross this one,
Fair.
you know? I think we
But-
had that thought a little bit. We were super unprepared for the fishery. We all almost died because we were thinking about, oh, what's next? We got to talk about this. Figure out a way to not die so that after this, hopefully this is 2.
In that case, then I think my best job for this will be searching for potential future locations and doing research on these creatures, so that we know what else we can do besides my tricks to keep them at bay.
Okay. Is it better if you ask around as a detective, or for me and my buddies ask around as just interested parties?
Hang on. Do I know Dr. Hastings because I work at the asylum for school?
Dr. Hastings is not affiliated with the asylum.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah,
I was
if-
just gonna say if I knew him, then I would talk to him.
No,
but that's not
the
relevant, then I
asylum.
won't.
The asylum is a bit of a wild card as far as history is concerned.
He's checking in with all of us if we want to have a if we want to try to
yeah, you're
we wanna-
welcome to. Yeah, he's sort of our bystander as of right now.
If we
sort
wanna
of a- have a
divert-
conversation with him.
our questions, and maybe they're kind of vague questions that he can answer, but when we put our answers together, they make sense.
Yeah, I feel like if I, as a police officer, started asking questions around,
You're not a police officer.
as a detective that is affiliated with the police department, thank you, Sammy. I feel like if I started asking questions, since people know that I'm a detective, people may get a little bit cagey around me.
Sounds great.
So,
How about Miss Elwood asks questions? Because
Your
she's
student.
from the area. They're less likely to be suspicious of her because she's been. How long have you been gone again for? A few years at this point, right?
Yes, I've been here since I was a child.
So, trying to refamiliarize herself with the place, it would make sense.
Yeah, and
And let's all be perfectly honest here. So far, she's gotten the best results when asking people questions than any of us guys have.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
questions?
Okay.
Great. Catherine, you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just need to know what exactly I need to ask.
Oh, that sounds like a very reasonable thing to talk about. Distractions for tonight.
Maybe Miss Lilith and Frank and Tony
Lilith's
can.
not. Lilith's
well-
done. Frank and Tony,
I'm just saying,
Good.
have Lilith make a scene to pull the doctors in, and have Frank and Tony make sure they don't leave her side.
Did you tell us about failed surgeries to kill people?
I have not. But in the midst of that, I will say, doctors within one frame could end badly. According to Dr. Hastings, they're using surgeries to kill people, to use bodies. And according to them, they're thinking about using people at the asylum as well.
We can figure out a distraction.
Yeah. I feel like Frank and Tony are good at causing chaos where and when they want to.
Yep.
So, a conundrum of clinical conversations.
Oh.
We will conclude there. Yes,
Dutch
thank you
meat
so
kicks
much
excellent.
for watching Wizards of Old Harbor tonight. More on the horizon. We'll see you next time on Roll to One.